What's up? I'm Haley Shin, and I'm here to give you valuable insights into some potential roadblocks that can hinder your career growth in the corporate world. Let's dive in. So the first thing we're going to start with are the politics. When you get in the corporate world, it's a little similar to Game of Thrones. You have some leaders, you have different people in the company that are vying for power. At least get an idea of who are the different leaders and or stakeholders that make the decisions and align yourself with them. Learn from them, get insights, and grow a relationship so you're not the one on the short end of the stick that doesn't get their name called when the time is right. Let's talk about burnout. It hits us all in different ways. There's not a company out there that doesn't have somewhat of a burnout culture, and we're all striving to be better than the people around us. It's a very competitive environment. One piece of advice is set boundaries for yourself. If there's a time that you can set where you're going to turn everything off and not log into your email, I would advise that. For me, it was 7 p.m. where I would turn everything off. Of course, there were some times where I had to pick the bad phone up on some late night calls, but you need to be able to shut things down and disconnect. So set that boundary. Don't feel guilty. Have that conversation with your manager so you're able to at least have somewhat of a disconnect at the end of each workday. Next piece of advice is all around communication. You're never going to want to be at the forefront of a communication breakdown. Communicate upstream and as far in advance as early as possible to anyone that needs to be involved in a project or anyone that's going to have a say in the final output of whatever you're working on. And never be shy to lean on your manager for help with communication, especially if you need higher ups to look into something for you. Your manager is someone that can fight and champion the work. Micromanagement is a big deal, right? I think for me in the beginning days, I wasn't the best at delegating, and I felt like I needed to be a part of every single project and every single meeting. Over time, that changes when you realize that, you have teammates that you can delegate to, but you never want to be a micromanager. You're bound to run into a micromanager at some point in time. Just don't be one yourself. Learn how to delegate as a leader, and as you step into that management role eventually, or if you're in that role right now, learn to be a servant leader, someone that really looks out for their teammates and doesn't just lead with a top-down approach. I'm gonna give you some questions that you can ask your employer before you step into a role to better assess if any of the roadblocks that I previously mentioned are gonna be on the horizon for you if you were to accept this position. So for starters, when it comes to politics, you're gonna wanna know, how does the company assess and give a fair evaluation for the work that's done? Now again, politics is all about the influencing of others, but if you have great work and great output, you want to know the merits and the basis for how that's being judged and critiqued, so you know how that will result and translate into your ascension within the company. For burnout, it's pretty easy. Just ask something along the lines of, how does the company protect my well-being as an employee? You'll get at least a good idea if this company is go, 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 or if it's a company that will give you a little bit of a work-life balance. For communication, you're going to want to ask, how does the company foster collaboration internally to create seamless lines of communication? No matter how big a company might be, everybody ends up working in a silo or a vacuum at some point in time. As far as asking that question, it's going to give you insight into the working style of the company so you have a better understanding of how you can be a good communicator once you accept the role. Another thing you're going to want to ask about is the management style. And what does employee autonomy look like? Is there a working style that you're going to have to fit yourself into to be the very best version of their type of employee? Corporate isn't all that bad. It provides a few things: stability, security, competitive compensation, career advancement, networking opportunities, benefits such as 401ks, insurance. Look at corporate as an opportunity to be paid to grow. It's almost like grad school, if you think about it, but never lose yourself. It's easy to be caught up in the corporate speak and the marketing jargon, and you could take that home with you, and people are going to look at you, especially your friends and family, as if you're a salesman or you're gimmicky. And so there's a lot of things, at least when it comes to your verbiage, that can change in the corporate environment, but never lose yourself. So with all that being said, corporate isn't for everybody. I enjoyed my time. I was there for about 8 years. This advice covers all of the different positions. Remember, at corporate, you are a number on a spreadsheet, so you're going to want to protect yourself at all costs. Learn how to play the game, align yourself with the right people, find a sponsor or a mentor, someone that's going to be next to you and fight for you in those rooms that you're not a part of, and can get you that access to that next role or position that you're striving for. If you're looking for any other advice, career-wise or personal, check out Diary of a CEO. It's one of my favorite channels and has a wealth of videos that cover a variety of topics. If you need anything from me, hit me up direct, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace. So before we hop out of here, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Sibi, S-I-B-I. It is a curated marketplace for tastemakers to find premium secondhand fashion. You can download it in the Apple App Store. It's called Sibi Marketplace. And we only feature highly coveted resellers and collectors. It's invite only today. It will open up in the future. But if you have a collection that you think is worth sharing, feel free to go to our website and contact us, cbapp.com. Otherwise, download the app. You'll be on our email list and we'll notify you of the next pop-up. It's coming soon. Thanks.